What's up, AfterBuzzers? It's Quantico, and this episode was insane. We finally got what we asked for. Consistent through line with all the crazy characters that have been coming up. Connor Devlin, Garrett King, Deep's back. You won't want to miss any of it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We only have 2 more episodes, guys.
That's it.
Isn't that insane?
It's kind of weird.
It really is. Like,
I don't feel like it's like coming down. Like I feel like it's just getting its peak. So it's like,
right?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get canceled.
I mean, what do you guys think about this episode? Because I agree. Like, I feel like it's finally catching its stride, and I'm like, ooh, I'm into this. And then now I'm like, 2 episodes left. What? Huh?
I'm irritated that it took so long to sort of get what we wanted this whole time. Yeah. You know, so
I feel like we are getting what we wanted, and it almost feels like it's a little too late.
Yeah.
Because even as we're getting what we wanted, like we kept asking for reoccurring roles, reoccurring storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that we loved Connor Devlin so much when he was introduced to us as the villain 2 episodes ago. But for this episode, it didn't satisfy that need I'd been asking for. So that made me a little like,
Okay.
Christine, you just sitting over there like with a look on your face, like.
I'm just taking in your both of your thoughts, which I agree with. I don't know. I just feel like they could do so much better for these last few episodes.
Yeah.
Like the whole, needing for Connor to be extradited, and then the whole switcheroo at the end. Like it just felt like, damn, I saw that coming. So what? I'm just very melancholy with this episode. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm going to try and be a ray of sunshine here. So I agree with everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. That finally we are getting the through lines. And I think that the storyline overall was really good and had a lot of depth to it. It had a lot of different ups and downs. Like, was it executed exactly the way I wanted it? Probably not. However, I did get what I was asking for.
True.
And I did get some different levels from Alex. We've seen a lot more emotional depth from her lately.
Yeah.
We did get Garrett King to come back. So he's consistent through line. Like, I feel like there's little ticks of different things from the previous elements that are being brought back in.
Yeah.
Now, if you're watching for the first time or on YouTube or iTunes, I'm Elayna, and I absolutely agree with Candice. 100%. Like,
yes, we were getting ready to intro ourselves.
Yeah,
yes.
like.
So what's up, everyone? We just had to get those overall thoughts out of the way. My name's Candice Cruz, as you probably know now that we're on episode 11.
And this is Elayna, who we met.
Hey, guys.
Oh my goodness, the snort came out.
My goodness.
I snort all the time.
It's one of those days,
kind of
guys.
embarrassing.
And I'm Ashley Allen.
And I'm Christen Alexis.
Oh, yes. Guys, it's been a long Sunday, and this episode just got me all up in my head. So we switched it around a little bit. I apologize. Oh, you gonna do the Kiki later?
That might wake us up.
Use a Kiki. Okay, that has nothing to do with Quantico. I apologize. I don't think that Alex is doing the Kiki right now. I think all she wants to do is get her revenge on Garrett King.
Absolutely.
And Connor Devlin was just serving it to her on a plate.
Dude.
Like dangling.
It felt so it was just like, really? You're going to get it this easy from him? I knew there had to be something else at play here.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they went along for this ride so easily. And I mean, even though he did lead them to what they were looking for, I just felt like it was a little too easy.
Well, one element I did like that I didn't notice until after the second time they did it was the clip of the quotes from The Art of War, which I really, really enjoyed because it almost did like chapters, segments of what's about to happen that you didn't really know until you're like, oh, that just happened.
I missed the third one. That third one, I missed it. I was reading. I was like, oh my gosh, it passed. And then I was like, I kind of don't want to rewind. Like that ever happens to you when you're trying to read it and then you're like, okay, I'm in the moment, so I'm trying to stay in the moment.
I'm just going to pay attention.
So that third one kind of threw me off. I don't remember what it said.
Well, Connor Devlin is a mastermind and definitely followed this book to a T and was following along the guidelines of they were doing the extradition process, and then Garrett King just waltzed in and dangled it in front of him too. So he asked for all of this. It was almost a little too easy that Garrett King came and was like, Connor, I want my money back. Connor's like, thank you. I needed a way out. You just gave me the door.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, sir.
God.
Even when he walked into the jail
Yes.
to have that conversation, it was just very interesting, like how it's set up, because Connor immediately told the other person to leave, and then how the exchange was, you could almost foresee that it was gonna be that easy. Like the way he was speaking, his whole temperament about it, it was like, but aren't you who you say you are? Like,
And the man's safe. He's sitting behind bars, so
Right.
he's just playing chess right now at this point. But who was the woman that Garrett said that, or that Garrett had at the beginning of the episode? They never revisited who that woman was, because the lawyer for Connor Devlin said, they have her. I had to let him in.
Oh, it was the lawyer's girlfriend. Remember, they were coming home from the date.
Thank you.
And she was complaining about dinner. And
It
he
was a
like,
lot
well,
of
you can
dark
complain next time.
movements.
if you
So,
buy it,
yeah.
that part had me, because I feel like that was real life though. You can complain next time you pay for the bill. I was like, ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had that conversation before, guys. What is that like?
Yeah.
All y'all had this conversation before? Am I like,
I've never had that conversation.
okay, good.
I'm the person that usually says, well, you can complain when you pay for it.
Oh, you're the one buying. Oh, okay, girl.
Wait. Not with like guys, but like you guys go to
True.
dinner dates. You go with dinner dates and your friend be like,
No, never had that either.
True, or cousin or niece or nephew, somebody.
See, my friends are real like uppity. So they be having a
So
lot
they're
of talk.
Shelby.
Yes. They have a lot of like bark, and I'm just like, listen, next time you want to complain, pay for it.
I like it.
One of my friends I go out with, she just does complain, and she complains right to the waiter. So there's 2 levels to that.
That is not a show.
That's a Shelby. I think
She's a
Shelby.
Shelby.
But I did like Shelby in this episode. I think she was very underplayed, which was nice, and not like in your face of like the annoying like Shelbyisms that she's had this season. She's
Yeah.
had a couple redeeming moments. We were really lovable to her last episode.
Yeah.
We were.
We did. We gave her some love. But the Garrett King with the 10 million and the Syrians, like that was just, is that their tie-in?
So I don't know if I was understanding it correctly. Maybe we can work through it together.
So the Syrian hostages were Garrett King's, and he hired Connor to get rid of them.
I thought
So
that
he paid $10 million to Connor Devlin in order to get rid of these Syrian refugees. He didn't finish the job. And so he was like, I want my money back. And Connor was like,
He lost his son.
I lost my son, so that's payment enough. We're blood brothers now. We got blood money right now.
Yeah.
So basically that's why. So they're basically paying. So now Connor is promising to pay Garrett King the $10 million back that Garrett originally paid Connor to get rid of the Syrian refugees in order to get rid and do his bidding with the Quantico crew. Is what Connor, he put a bounty on Owen's head and the family members that he's been trying to get. So that's where the $10 million comes into play.
I don't know why I thought he had paid him to get rid of Shelby and her friend since they were testifying. I thought that's what that was about.
No.
Maybe I just
Well, when we were
misunderstood that.
that was what it was about when we were first introduced to Connor Devlin. Remember?
Yes.
Because he
And I think that's why we're all, well, us two on this half are confused.
I thought it was going back to that because they
Yeah.
didn't kill Shelby. They only got her friend or whatever. So it's like,
I think that they tried to intertwine what we missed, because remember when we were introduced to him, we were saying we wish they would have gave us a little bit more of that backstory. So I think they were presenting some of that backstory while still trying to make it relevant, since Connor Devlin was still going to be reoccurring. So that's where I think like all the confusion is, because even watching this episode, I was like, I don't know what this is. Like
They're just trying to shove a lot in there and information in order to make the through line happen, I feel like.
Yeah.
And to make us care more.
Yes.
yeah, it's,
Did you
it's
care
getting
more?
lost on
No,
me.
I didn't.
That's for sure.
I was very lost at that point.
I guess I wonder if you guys are watching at home, does the storyline now make you care more, or do you feel a little lost? Like,
Well, I mean, they have a lot to lead up to this finale because they're really hyping up these last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I feel like they had to like get all the characters back in the row. So they had to get Deep back. They had to like give us some heightened, which
how do you mentioned Deep? How do you guys feel about Deep being back in the capacity that he is, being that he was like, I can't do this?
Well, I think he saw the other side of the coin. He's not very happy sitting on a
Right.
computer all day.
That was hilarious.
I mean, me and you both, Deep. I don't like being on a computer all day long either.
Right.
I don't think anybody does. That's why you get those glasses that take away the Blu-rays.
I think I appreciate him a little bit more now that we've had a break. I think he should have maybe been more of a reoccurring or like guest star role than like an actual part of the team person.
I agree.
Right.
I don't know. I think it just adds more value to him when he's not like there all the time.
Because then you got no reason to be mad at him when he's not there all the time. Like when he make the silly mistakes and, you know, he's like, oh, I'm still a baby.
But wait, like when did he become a surgeon?
So wait, hold up, rewind.
like, I
Owen
was
getting
like,
shot
what?
and the whole Jocelyn. Also, before we get to the shot part, can we just talk about the whole adult conversation that they had about this kiss?
Yes, let's
I
get it.
appreciated it. Thank you. That's how adults have conversations.
Yes, it is.
Recap the conversation for me because when I was watching it, I was like, eh.
I think because we're so cringed out.
Yeah, I was just like, eh. Like,
It was not a long conversation, nor does it have to be, but
I knew she wasn't with Frank anymore. Come on.
no,
Like,
everybody knew she wasn't with Frank.
Please.
That's like the move that you're like, I'm like trying to make sure that you're not into anybody else, but I know that you might be into somebody else. So let me test the waters here.
let me say, okay, I know that I said I was like a little bit underwhelmed with the reoccurring Connor Devlin, but when it comes to the team,
Yeah.
that part made me excited because when Jocelyn was going through her whole moment, I was like, girl, but you was just crying over Frank, so now all of a sudden you want to try to see. But I did cry this episode.
What?
Wait,
What?
when? You both moved.
Wait, what?
That was a moment.
Wait.
That was a great moment.
That was a moment.
We're gonna rewind that and freeze frame it.
So I totally cried and I was like, are you kidding me?
But when? We need to know the when.
We aren't there yet.
Okay.
Wow.
You can't throw that on us and then it's be like,
We're
wait.
almost there. Well,
Okay.
I'll reveal when
Insert
All
the
right.
tears when we get there.
Okay, so the conversation about like, we never talked about the thing, the kiss, and then I was like, they had dealt with it very nicely. Hey,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. We didn't want it to happen. It didn't happen. It's fine.
They don't
But I
agree.
thought it was weird
they
that
don't like it.
No, we don't. But I'm like we.
We're on a we.
Okay.
about it,
Split the
girl.
table.
Talk about it,
We
girl.
on a we.
I just thought it was interesting how he's the one that had to bring it up. But I'm assuming that he's the one that had to bring it up because he's the one that's kind of like in his feelings about her. Am I correct on that?
he's also the leader of the team, so I think he was like, let me squash this now because
He also
she's not going to say anything about it clearly.
Right.
he has always, when it comes to him and Jocelyn, been the leader.
Yes.
Called what it was out, called her out when he felt like she was projecting feelings. So he's always had that role when it comes to the two of them outside of being the leader for the team.
He also
what's
tells
that?
her like, you know, you can trust me. He's always kind of dictating when she can let her guard down per se, like talk to me type thing. You know, oh well, some things went down over there, but it's just
There's a snort. Guys, okay. We're going to pause for a moment and just tell
Oh,
you what
God.
happened because we all reacted. And you can't not address what just happened. A purse just fell.
It was mine.
Randomly.
Don't
There's
feel-
a ghost
That's what
in
happens when we
AfterBuzz.
talk about Owen and Jocelyn. They're not supposed to be together, and then things like that happen.
Exactly.
Okay.
But she also is not one of those people that comes right out about her feelings either. She never
Yeah.
has been. She's very like,
Yeah.
he pulls it out of
yeah,
her.
he pulls it out of her. So
So he's always taken that kind of control. Like
Yeah.
the fact that he's had to pull out her feelings and address certain things prior to this almost kiss, like in the conversation, he's always kind of been like the man, which I
Yeah.
respect from him.
Right.
good job. Good job. Okay, moving on to the crying part, because I'm assuming this is the crying part, is when he was sitting and just staring at her longingly and smiling, and then all of a sudden, open gunfire happens.
Yo,
No, not quite.
Wait, but I must say, I thought that was a pretty cool shot, though. Like, not hearing any sound and then
That
seeing all
was
the commotion
great.
in the
that was my
back.
favorite part of the
I
episode.
love that.
It was fantastic. Cinematography on that one was like prime.
Yeah, that was
like
good.
drop down, everybody wrestling, and she's just staring into the refrigerator.
You know what would have made it better if they put like elevator music or something? Cause
No,
she's
I
like,
liked the silence.
I like the silence too.
Was that Jeopardy? Because I
oh
said
yeah,
elevator
true. Sorry.
music.
You know what I meant. Anyway.
There it is.
No,
So
yeah.
as she's looking through the refrigerator, except Jocelyn's deaf, so she doesn't hear elevator music.
And then-
But she knows what it sounds like.
Damn.
She had a hearing before.
True.
She knows what that sounds like. She hears stuff.
But you know, like when you're deaf, like aren't your other senses heightened more? Like how did
I'm glad
you?
someone else noticed that.
It's gonna sound really like messed up because I'm,
It's not because
you know,
we
'cause
talked
I'm
about
able
this.
hearing, but like I would just feel the presence, like especially something coming from the ceiling. Like how did that not?
And gunfire, you're gonna feel the vibration.
You feel the vibration
of it
But
happening.
we talked about that when she got picked up. Remember when she was running
Oh,
after Frank
and-
initially,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she was being so blinded by her emotions. We were like, okay, but you felt like she's
Okay.
been in this place before.
Wait, in her defense, we were watching it in slow motion. So I'm sure her real reaction was a little bit faster than
Like
what
how?
we saw.
Like, they was not
A
that
lot of
slow
stuff went
because
down, though.
They
Show
were not
me.
dropping from the ceiling that slow. They were shoom. That was not slow.
So you're in there. You're doing what you're doing. You're Jocelyn. Go. I'm gonna be the people coming out of the ceiling. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you kidding? That's because you can hear. You can hear
No,
me.
I have good peripheral vision.
Oh, come on.
But they were
what it
behind her. There's no peripheral when it's behind.
That's true. That's true.
Our iTunes listeners, you guys are missing a show right now on YouTube.
So,
yes,
And that's
tell
why,
you.
if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you go to YouTube and watch as well. And then you guys on YouTube go and listen on iTunes and give us 5 stars on both.
Because these sound effects that we're giving you are great car driving material.
I just jumped out of my chair, so I mean, you know,
Yes.
that's something that you may want to see.
Just saying.
You don't like that? You don't like me?
no,
doing
I'm just
that?
giving you a look to see what your reaction would be.
Y'all, she's messing with me.
Can we also talk? We're not there yet, but I have another, like last week when we had the whole like acting move.
Yes.
Or the look of the.
Y'all did so
crazy.
good. The episode was so good last week.
Yes, except for
was.
that one cheesy move where he's like, head.
I thought you were gonna say except for the part when I wasn't here.
That too.
Oh my God.
Oh, she's just feeling herself. It's fine. She's just feeling herself. It's fine. We missed you, boo. Do we need to tell you that we missed you?
back rub.
There's a back rub happening. But
Gracious.
there was another acting move very similar to the ice pack later on when we get to the other element.
Okay.
Which we have to talk about Art of War and Maisie because we
Okay.
haven't even talked about that.
Yes.
But we still haven't finished the Owen.
Yeah.
There's a lot to come, guys. So you guys need to keep listening because we still have to talk about Art of War, Maisie,
Yes.
Alex, and the whole confrontation with Garrett. But I want to finish talking about poor Owen because after the slow mo happened, there was a slow mo of a gunshot and another one. Did not that look like it hit him in the chest, like on the
In the
heart?
heart,
It did.
yeah. It looked
I was like, he's done.
And that's what started my emotional break. Like I was like, oh my gosh, Owen, and I was like, oh my gosh.
There's the emotional break.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is good. So I was already like feeling a little heightened when it comes
is
to
good.
emotions. Yeah, like I mean, not that it's good that he's dying, but like, damn, finally.
good intent.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. Hold
I'm
up.
entertained that
Okay.
one of our favorites, like we are now on the edge of our seats, like, oh no, not Owen. So
Yeah,
that brought
I
me
agree.
in as a
Yeah.
Yes,
viewer.
okay.
The stakes got higher.
Exactly. So my emotions started to heighten there. But the part that really like pulled tears out of me is when he ended up getting shot. Jocelyn runs over, Deep is there, and Jocelyn is like, fight. Like she
Oh, yeah.
she starts using her voice and I literally would probably start crying again. She just kept saying like fight. Like, do you understand? Fight. And the way that she was saying fight, like I had chills over my entire body. That part right there. And I was just like, okay, this might be real. But then he didn't die. So then I was like, come on, y'all.
We still have 2 more episodes. You
Yeah,
still
yeah,
need
yeah.
him. He may die after 2 episodes.
True.
She's in the spy hospital right now, guys.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. I want to go to the
They
chicken
got
coop.
insurance?
The
What's
chicken
up?
coop. I want to go
Like-
to the chicken coop.
I didn't know.
Y'all take
like,
care of me at the chicken coop. What's the passcode? What do you all think that the code was? The code word. It's called the chicken coop. It's got to be like egg.
FBI mofos. Let me in. No.
That works.
She said egg.
Who came first?
Say that at the door.
Chicken coop. What's the password? Who came first?
No.
Chicken or the egg? Hello.
No, I know, but you need to.
She said
Oh
egg.
my lordy.
What's the password? Egg. Scrambled. That's so bad.
Over easy.
That's
There you go. I like that better. Over easy is the password.
Over easy.
Help me over easy. Because they're not saying it quietly if they're going to the chicken coop.
right.
True.
They're like not gonna be like egg. It's gonna be like egg.
What if it's like a
I thought this was like covert though.
I like that. I want the sound.
We just elevated Quantico from being intense to comedic.
Sorry.
So sorry, y'all. I just said y'all.
That's because that one scene was intense. Do y'all agree? At least
It got to cut the tension. It was intense.
It was very
Did
intense.
y'all feel something on that part, or was I just like, being?
Yeah, but then I was sidetracked because Deep started doing surgery, and I'm just like, when, where, and how did this
He stuck
happen?
his finger and got that bullet out and
I was
sewed him
thankful.
up.
I didn't care how he became a
I'm
surgeon.
thankful, but I'm just like, okay, so what other talents does he
And I
have?
love that
don't know about?
conveniently, Jocelyn is a universal donor.
Oh yeah, she was like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness, but that
I'm a universal donor too, but like the odds of a universal donor being in the room when this is happening is like slim to none. And the fact that she's like, I'm O.
Can we
Thank
address-
goodness.
I am as well. I'm also type O. But
Oh, 2 O's in a room?
You're O too?
Yeah, I'm O negative.
Wow, I'm an A+.
Of course you are.
I excel across the board.
Okay, honey.
Okay, Christine, tell
Sorry,
us
my
what you're feeling
crazy
with the
eye
O.
roll. Oh my lord.
Feeling the O.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm just gonna chalk up Deep's behavior to the fact that he got out of the office and was like, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna go right in there. I'm gonna do surgery on my first day back because I'm a boss. Just kidding.
The New York kind of way. What did he say? The New York ease or something?
The what?
He said something. He's like, I'm back in the New York ways or like sway or swag, something.
He shouldn't have said it.
Oh,
Whatever.
He
no.
didn't need to say it. I don't need to say it.
To be real, no, but I agree with you, Elayna, that scene was probably the most tear-jerking scene out of
the
all of
season.
them.
Yes.
For me, it was that moment where he got shot, when Owen got shot again, and he rolled over to the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
And was it King who was like looking like, oh, let me just shoot
He was
him
about
one
to.
more time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro, that's when my heart was like, no. And then,
Because if you're going to
Jocelyn
take a
came
shot,
through
you're going
with
to
the
take a
shotgun.
shot.
Yeah.
I think Garrett was just doing it for dramatic effect because he's like, I want to watch this happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like he also thought that Owen was just
Playing dead?
like done, which Owen did seem done. If it wasn't for Jocelyn, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
So when she like that, I thought like how they played that scene out that Owen was done. So which is also why I was emotional because I was like, damn, I ain't see that coming like at all.
Like we didn't see our favorite redhead coming either.
True. That was good, but and maybe that's why I felt emotional because as a viewer and as a fan, I like when I am blindsided. I don't
Same.
like when it's
Yes.
predictable.
Same.
Agreed.
True, girl, true.
Agreed. But one thing that was very predictable, though, was this whole Maisie situation. Now, the way it turned
Yeah.
out wasn't what I expected, but the kidnapping part, the fact that we're opening and we're having this big, like, long conversation, heart to heart with the brother, and Harry's like, I've got you, you're safe, and she's concerned and having nightmares. Like, that was literally just like, set it up, let's build the house and put the roof on it, and
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, it was expected.
Right.
Yeah.
But the little twist of adding in that her boyfriend is a wannabe video gamer. That's
Influencer? What?
And the fact that it was all caught on camera. Number one, Garrett, this is why you hired henchmen to do your dirty work.
Yeah.
You don't. You get rid of all the evidence. He's
talk.
videotaping himself. Like, check out the computer before you walk out.
It was sloppy work.
It was
Yeah,
very
very
sloppy.
sloppy.
Blood was everywhere. Like, he left him there.
They didn't even get rid of the
Wear a
other
mask.
body.
Yeah, they did.
No.
No.
And also, how long has it been? Because you know that the stench is there. So why did no one smell it and make note of that when they come in?
True.
If a body's been there for over 6 hours, it's gonna stink.
How
Yeah.
you know?
She watches.
I watch SVU a lot.
shows.
I watch a lot of
Ashley with
SVU.
the save. I don't know, y'all.
She watches First 48.
I'm joking. I don't think Candice would ever be around a corpse. Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
no.
Like, no. She'd be the one saving the day, let me just say.
Aww.
You would be.
Super Candace.
This is why I missed you.
Because you're sharp. You would be.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
I will say what I found interesting was like eventually they figured it out that the camera from the video game was recording everything. But
Right.
why did it take them so long to realize that this Art of War book meant something? Like these are the same people.
It was
who
already
will-
up last episode too, in the peanut butter and the cell phone.
Yeah, these are the same people who will be like, oh, they were kept in a warehouse somewhere that was west. Maybe there was a train there. Like
yeah.
they will put
That-
every little thing together.
Fabric pieces.
Do you hear that
With
sound?
no breadcrumbs. But the book was right there in the dude's cell. Like you could have, one of y'all could have spent 5 minutes looking through it and maybe caught some clues.
And it's a
Right.
famous book.
It is.
Everyone has heard of it.
Yeah.
Nothing is
And
by
I feel like
chance.
most criminal masterminds would probably refer to it. Seems like it's done pretty well for a lot of former people.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The
But-
shade. I had to throw it. Sorry.
Also, if this is streaming live, why aren't their comments berserk?
Yeah,
Even though he has
true.
only got 31 people following him, there's 31
true.
people following that saw this happen. Why did no one call
Who would tell their
911?
friends or
Who
even
would
to make other people
to
start
come on
watching?
going viral because you know that would go
Oh,
viral.
it would be
Right.
on Instagram in 5
As
seconds.
cryptic and crazy and creepy as that is, people want to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like this weird detachment and like entertainment. Like, why was no one watching this happen?
Yeah.
Or like bringing attention to it?
Why weren't
That's
they
very true.
tracking, his sister's cell phone and where she went? He just kept calling and getting no answer.
And
But like,
if you go 4 hours without hearing from someone and you said text me when you get home and you're having nightmares, like I would automatically red flag.
And we just went through some crap like not
A week
too long
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
So
Not even a week ago.
I mean, come on.
About a week ago. Sorry.
Okay.
I couldn't help
I mean, we got the Kiki, we got a week ago. Anything else?
But
Remember
Christine
that?
danced with me this time, so it was like it worked.
But the Maisie situation, her getting kidnapped. Can we talk about this plot line? I want to hear how you all feel about the introduction to the sex trafficking element of it and Connor's involvement versus Garrett's involvement. Like, go.
I loved the introduction to the sex trafficking part of it because when we started this season, we were so excited about the relevant topics
Yeah.
that they were going to be bringing up. So for them to get back to that, because I feel like we lost it a little mid-season. So for them to be coming back into those serious things that we deal with, it was like, okay, this is what, this is why I'm watching this show.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
why I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I additionally liked when they found the girls the first time as well, that we actually got to see girls that were from the U.S. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry. They are from Ohio, and they're naming cities that we identify with.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times when we see these movies or these films or TV shows, when they're talking about human trafficking, it's a lot of international conversation versus realizing that this is all like happening here.
Yeah.
And it's very relevant. And the fact that like Connor kept putting those like exact locations, like number one, that to me for them should have been a red flag that it wasn't Garrett doing it. Garrett, if he was an actual criminal guy, he would have never divulged that information to Connor, even if he's trying to get paid $10 million. I'm going to throw you off the track. We're going to try and throw each other off the track. Why would you? Someone should have known that it was Connor, not Garrett.
Yeah.
To know the exact time, the exact location, like what's going on, what girls they got, like, no.
yeah, it felt like a setup for sure.
Yeah. And the girls did not seem that distraught afterwards either.
Yeah.
They seemed a little calm.
I think they were traumatized.
Okay,
I'm just
I'll
go
give
out
it
on
to
a
that,
limb there.
yes.
And I think the scenes with Alex like repeatedly questioning that one girl, trying to get information out of her, and seeing how she couldn't really respond after a while. I appreciated that just because
Yeah.
it showed the realness of it. Because you're grasping at straws, trying to remember what you heard or saw before you were
Yeah.
taken. And I can't even remember like what I did before I got here. So
that was hard.
Yeah.
That
that's
was
tough.
very hard because they even like, did you smell anything? Did you hear anything?
Yeah.
Like, and I was still like, So definitely agree with you. But like the scene right after that, I think it was right after or right before when they were in the jail cell and she was talking about, oh, like my brother's an FBI agent. Like, do you guys remember
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
we were going
yeah.
to her sister? And she was super calm, like when talking to the other girl, and then she took off her bracelet and kind of like put it under the pillow, like to leave those clues.
Right.
I thought that scene was like, this would almost be me if I were in that situation. Like
Yeah.
I would be forward thinking and try to leave clues and try to do
Yes.
certain
Yeah.
things. So I felt that. I don't remember what I did, but I also appreciated that the next scene right before, or I can't remember the order of it, or right after, had some of that intuitive.
That's like your
Yeah.
flight or flight kind
Right.
of.
Yes.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It reflexes like, okay, I'm going to try and save myself and leave these breadcrumbs, where some people just kind of freeze and panic.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of wondering that if she didn't have a brother that was an FBI agent, would she be that forward thinking?
That's a good question.
She did just, like you said last week, go through that whole thing of having to like escape people who are trying to come after you. So maybe she picked up some tricks of like, okay, maybe if I want to be found, this is what I
True.
should do.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, kudos to them. And like, unfortunately, that is a topic of conversation and like a reality that's happening, like
Yeah.
making people aware. And like, I think that is something that needs to be in a topic of conversation of like, not just being like on the defensive, like also being on the offensive of like, if something like this does happen, what do you do?
Yeah.
And like really trying to make it as like, I don't know, it's just something that I think is definitely relevant, and I really appreciated that they brought it up. And like, even Alex ending up like going on and them finding the other girls, it just sucks that there were too many different crates, and like that happened when they were trying to find the girls on the boat. Like, I appreciated from the element of like being a viewer that they didn't find them, because it stretched out. It would have felt like a little too forced to be like, let's just randomly find them. But to look inside that crate and see the porta potty in there and these beds, it just literally made me so sick to my stomach. And like, in Alex's position, if I had this man that I thought was responsible for that, and seeing these women, and on top of it, you just drowned me and I lost my baby, I would have done the same thing.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't have even had the whole conversation, the stare down with him in the garage. He just would have been done.
Can we talk about, since we're talking about her emotions, the encounter with her and McQuigg when like those tensions were so high. And I think that it was very interesting for the writers to put them two into like this argument or this very high tension situation, because we're so used to seeing them flirt or kind of be like lovey-dovey. So for this episode, for me, it was just like, damn. Like, both of y'all are going through it.
Two alphas going at it.
And they're alphas in different ways. Like, Alex always generally takes the lead and is more outspoken about what to do next. McQuigg is a little more, I think, like to himself. He's kind of like observing. He'll say things when necessary. But then on this flip side, since his sister died, we've seen him kind of completely unhinged at this point. Running with his emotions. He had to kind of learn how to quell that a little bit, and was trying to remind Alex of that this episode. Like, you're clouded by your emotion the same way that I am from losing my sister, but we're just handling it differently. So the meeting of the minds there, I thought was great.
It was interesting because Ryan also came in and was like, she's just emotional. And then it was almost like when he was like, I just lost my sister.
Right.
That moment was like, ouch. Like,
that was good. I really enjoyed that moment. And it kind of sucks that she ended up killing him at the end, because I'm like, they could have had him and like used him. Like, at that point, I wish it wouldn't have happened the way that it did. Just to help us out a little bit.
Y'all think Alex felt better though?
There's my moment. There's my acting moment. Hold on.
Because
I'm sorry. She was all upset and just going... I kid you not. Rewind that and watch it. She was like all shook up because she just killed somebody.
And then she thought about it. And it was that moment like, wait.
But she it's like when a 2-year-old is crying for something and then you give it to them and they're like... It was one of those moments of like...
I was mad she was even crying, honestly.
I was too.
Like, you wanted to do this so bad. Like, so bad. And then it happened by accident, technically, right after in self-defense. Like, I would have been like, well...
Right. What's
like,
next? What are we eating tonight?
It's that human part of her, which I thought was pretty genius, especially because Deep was back this episode. And like... And maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but the fact that she did feel some type of way initially, even though it didn't last long, the fact that she did have a reaction was like, okay, you aren't this senseless detective who is just out here like killing people doing your job.
So you think that heart-to-heart she had with Deep felt like that?
I think so. I think it was a combination of that conversation, which later became her being pregnant, which later became her losing her baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was a combination of it all. So they decided to give us a side of her that we're not used to, because usually she would just be like, well, like, bye. But she had that moment, that quick moment of, dang.
And I'm sure it was also like an emotional release. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's been like so upset, so emotional, like really wanting to get this guy this entire episode. And now that you finally get it, it's like now you can
release the emotional release.
And then
I agree.
I guess it's funny that we like kind of viewed her reactions to it very differently. And I'm wondering if that was the writer's intentions to get us to that point, and then us as viewers ask ourselves, like, is it actually worth it when you finally get to that moment? Like, do you feel better after?
I don't know.
So
time will only tell. Well, guys, unfortunately, we are running out of time, and I really do want to get to our special segment before we get to our fabulous predictions for the last 2 episodes. So let's go into Lips and Leather. There's our theme song. Yes, right there. So as you guys all know, we went to BeautyCon last week. We missed Elayna, but she
It's
was doing
okay.
her boss thing though.
I was stalking you guys on Instagram. Like, you guys were posting pictures. I was like, show me more. Like, you sent me a
She
photo.
literally texted us. She was like, "Show me more," and I was like,
They didn't-
"Okay."
They didn't show me more, guys. I had to go on Instagram.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Y'all looked bomb, and y'all killed the pink carpet. So
Thank you.
I was very excited.
Well, I want to see everybody's lipsticks. What do you have, my dear?
Right now, I'm wearing this. It's a Vitality lip stain from IT Cosmetics. It's a natural flushed pink. It's this translucent color, so anybody who puts it on,
You have that on right now?
What?
it just gives you a light flush.
Let me see. Put on a little bit more.
Is it temperature based too? You know what I mean? Like where it does your temperature and like warms up your
No,
lips?
I mean, the more you put it on, the more pigmented it'll get.
That's cool.
But I
like
was just
that.
not in the mood for any real color today. Just a little like blush to my outfit. So I did that. But I also wanted to bring this that I forgot to show when we did our BeautyCon kind of haul and recap. This skincare company, Lapkos, threw this in my little goodie bag, and I didn't notice it until later amongst all the masks and whatnot. Look at this
Cute.
bold color. I love the packaging too because it's got this like beautiful Miami Night is Right looking
love
neon
that.
sign, and the shade is called Hung Dye Coral.
Oh.
And let me just tell you, I wanted to live, swatch this for you guys. Now that I put that on, I probably won't. Just put it on my hand, but now you know I couldn't just walk in with this.
Whoa.
So
Wait,
if you're
I wanna
listening
do
on
it.
iTunes,
OMG.
the color is like so bold. Ashley
It
Ashley
is.
swatched it on her hand, then Christine swatched it. But the color is still very true. The color is still very true because it looks the
It
same
is.
on Christine also.
Very tropical,
Candice,
very
sorry.
definitely coral.
It is bold. It's a
Yes.
neon.
It gives you that Miami vibe, like
Right?
Yes.
definitely that summer feel.
Yes, I
I
love.
like it.
My mission is to find an appropriate outfit and
Yeah,
event
that is
where
bold.
I can wear this lipstick.
Yeah.
There were a lot of orange lip colors at the event I went to last night. Orange is the color of the summer, I think.
It really is. And
is.
you showed us one too, that
Yeah.
episode of that. I think it was a Kylie shade that was
It is.
orange.
It's
so
called Tangerine.
there we go.
Yes. What are you wearing, my love?
So I am wearing a liquid matte from Sephora. And I've worn this one before. This one is very affordable at Sephora. And then, like I said before, Sephora is one of my favorite matte lipsticks. This stays on all day.
Yes.
Eating,
Yes.
drinking, all of it.
What are you?
So I have on a pink Nuvo from MAC, and I'm not happy with it. I feel like and this is why. I think it's because of my complexion. Because it's not a matte lipstick. It is a bit more creamy, and I feel like because of the shade on me, I kind of needed to base or prime my lips with something else so that the color could show more.
Wait, can you swatch it on me? I want to see what it looks like. It's probably
Absolutely.
going to be way too pink.
And
Oh no, that looks great on you.
nice.
But look at it on
Huh.
me. So it's deeper on Candice and it's
Yeah.
more baby doll on me.
Yeah.
Meaning I need to put more or put a base for me to get its true color.
So again, all of you all that are listening on iTunes right now, be sure to go over on YouTube and you can check out all of our swatches.
I love that color on you though.
It's really pretty. I
Yes.
normally don't go for a pink, but I like this one.
That's pretty.
I have a gold and it's called Gilded Age and it's from MAC. It is from BeautyCon. It is very glossy.
I want
That
it.
is
It's
a classic
it's
MAC
a
color.
sticky glossy, and MAC is known for like a little bit of a sticky kind of lip gloss. But I don't mind it. I really like it. It's very pigmented. It's like very gold.
Oh, it is. So I was complimenting Candice on this before the show started, and I like how full it is though.
I know.
Because it looks like it's a little more glitter based and transparent, but
No,
it's
it's not transparent at all. It is
Wow.
bold. But guys, we have run out of time, so I want to do really quick predictions going into this 2-episode season finale. Go.
Oh, thank you for saving me with the music.
You got a second.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I predict that Owen dies. I don't think he makes it out of this season. I didn't catch him in the previews to when the team, goes to Ireland to continue with this extradition of Connor Devlin. So I have a feeling that he just doesn't make it out alive. That's my prediction.
I like the Irish accent at the end, though.
He doesn't make it out alive.
There you go.
So we should be worried.
Okay. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it. Okay. I think Harry's sister is not gonna. I don't think they're gonna be able to find her. That's what.
Man.
Anybody else have Taken vibes? Just saying.
Yes.
Definitely taking vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
my prediction is that Connor Devlin is going to be defeated because we have the boss team of Quantico, and
Okay.
you know, I'm still on team them. So that's my basic prediction. Also, since we only have 2 episodes left, make sure you guys subscribe to AfterBuzz TV dramas on YouTube.
Yes.
To get other shows like Love Is, Queen Sugar, Queen of the South.
Yes.
Yes.
Just so that we can, you know, keep the conversation going with other panelists.
And we are the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes,
We are.
Yes, we are. So thank you guys so much for being amazing fans. We will shout you guys out next week if you leave a comment in below. And for me, my prediction, I agree. I don't think Owen will make it out. I think Connor will last until the very last second of the last episode. I think it's going to be a very dramatic draw out. I don't think that Maisie will make it out, but I do think that Maisie will save a lot of the girls. I think her instinct, like her brother, will kick in.
Yeah.
And especially with the telling of her bracelet and everything, I think she'll become the matriarch of these women.
That's good.
And really taking care of them. She may not make it out alive and she may have to sacrifice, but I think that there's going to be something. But especially with the preview going into next week with the catalog of the women and them showing up, like, she's not going to go without a fight. I will say that much.
I love
She
that.
has a fight
Quick
in her.
question.
So, yes.
Since we are now going over the pond, could we possibly get some Andrea back in the
I
picture?
hope so. Can we add that in there? Maybe he'll show up in Ireland.
Please.
Yeah, Italy's not
Please
that
and
far
thank you.
away, bro.
Yeah.
I like
good.
it. I like
miss
it.
him a little bit.
And news, do we have a quick second?
Yeah, we have a quick second for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, our lovely Priyanka Chopra. Here she is with some of her castmates. She just wrapped a rom-com that she is filming. We are so excited.
Yes.
This is a new lane for her, so we're all excited. To
I'm
see.
sorry, do we see this all-star cast right here?
Yes.
Like, I'm obsessed.
Is that a Hemsworth?
That is a Hemsworth.
Oh my God.
And Rebel Wilson.
Yes.
And we also have got Betty Gilpin, who just got nominated for an Emmy for Glow, which I'm also on that panel, so go check out
Yes,
Glow
so-
on that panel. Just throw that in there.
Plug.
Based on this
Yes.
cast alone, like, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say we're all gonna go see this film.
Yes,
right.
100%.
All right, and then Miss Priyanka was also just honored as one of Variety's 500 most influential business owners, business
Amazing.
leaders for her company Purple Pebble Pictures, which is a production company. So congratulations to you, Priyanka.
She's such a boss.
Yes, she
and
is.
late happy birthday to you.
With your new boo thing that you came out with, just saying.
Happy birthday to
Hey,
you.
hey.
All right. Thank you guys so much. This has been a really entertaining episode. I hope
Yes.
you all were as entertained as I was.
I had a great time.
I had a
did
fantastic
too.
time. Thank you so much for joining us. We have 2 more episodes, so hold tight. Be sure to check in next week. Again, my name is Candice Cruz. You can find me on all my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
And I'm Elayna. You can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
And you guys know where to find me, Ashley Allen, on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen.
And I'm your girl, Christine. You can find me everywhere at Christine Bean.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.